Hello, this is Jeff Ramon, and my presentation is about the split attention principle. So what is the split attention principle? I've included the definition of the principle from Chapter 8 here. So what does all that mean anyway? I have summed it up in my own words in the next slide. I'd explain the principle this way. Instructional media that requires a learner to split their attention between too many sources of information is less effective than instructional media where the learner does not have to split their attention. A lot of research led to this idea, but for the sake of time, I'd like to start with the work of Richard E. Mayer. Over a number of studies, Mayer and his colleagues collected evidence that integrating words and pictures leads to superior learning compared with the more spatially remote multimedia design. Mayer and Moreno did a study in 1999 to test the split attention principle. They presented diagrams on a computer screen to two groups. One group studied a diagram with text placed beneath it. Another group studied the same diagram with text placed near the relevant section of the diagram. The group that studied diagrams with text near relevant sections of the diagram did better when tested on the information than the group that studied the diagram with text underneath it. This was a subtle example of the split attention principle, when the text was simply a part of the diagram as a label, and did not appear separately under the diagram was a more effective teaching aid. Sweller and Chandler in 1994 tested two groups of people by teaching them CAD, computer-aided design, in two different ways. One group was taught the conventional way at the time, which was using a manual on a computer. To reduce split attention, those in a second integrated group received all their instructions in a modified manual that contained numbered diagrams explaining their tasks. They did not get to practice their skills on keyboards or monitors. Surprisingly, the result was that students who had practiced with the hardware demonstrated less proficiency than those that had the modified manual. How could this be? Students who did not have to split their attention between information from the manual and the computer learned computer skills a little better than those that had to split their attention between two sources of information. Chandler and Sweller reproduced the result in 1996 and demonstrated the presentation of fully integrated instructions on paper produced better results than training with the manual and a computer. Uh-oh. Does this mean that if you wanted to produce e-learning, your ideal career is over? So are paper manuals better? Should I quit now and only learn Photoshop? No. It just means that the split attention principle was demonstrated in those studies. There's more. Serpa, Chandler, and Sweller did a study in 1996 to test if those studies revealed that paper instruction manuals are more effective instructional media, or if those studies revealed the split attention principle. The researchers constructed a study where two groups of learners were taught spreadsheet software. One group received all their training from instructions inserted into the software at appropriate points. Another group was trained using a manual on a computer, forcing them to split their attention. When tested on their spreadsheet skills, the group that only used a computer significantly outperformed the group that was trained with a computer and a manual. The group that did not have to split their attention between a manual and the computer performed better. Print media or electronic media was therefore not the issue. So how can I apply this principle as a future instructional designer? Or possibly as a current instructional designer? I find the software help pages for Apple's Final Cut video editing program to be very effective tools to learn it. They demonstrate some of the things I discussed here. Apple introduces the subject with a concise heading and summary. The format then moves into a numbered list with short, simple directions and beautifully clear illustrative screen captures of the software. There is not a lot of competing sources of information here. The text is simple and to the point. The image is crystal clear and demonstrates well what the text says. The two sources of information work well together to convey one idea. Sadly, one of my favorite websites can be a bad example of cognitive load. I enjoy Hollywood.com for its entertainment journalism, but sometimes this site crowds its content with advertisements. I understand that they need to have ads, but I clicked on one article and 3 ads popped up. That is too much information for me to look at when I click on one piece of light reading. In a situation like this one, I forget about the article I wanted to read, don't pay attention to any of the ads, and I leave the site. I would suggest that ads be placed neatly in the right-hand side of the screen. People read the English language from left to right. Once the reader begins to have a pleasant experience reading their article, a nice ad on the right might catch their eye. Well, that's all there is to this video. I hope that you found it helpful. Goodbye for now and have a great day.